Hello, Graham.
Hi, Gary.
Just your reaction to Conor Gallagher getting the nod from Gareth Southgate. Surprised some people. Did it surprise you?
Well, not something I really gave too much thought to. If I'm being honest, it's just nice for Conor, fantastic for us, great for him. He's going to have a really positive experience, I think, and delighted for him. He's worked really hard, and he's a fantastic person. So nice.
Have you had a chance to just give him personal congratulations?
Yeah, well, it's I saw him the other day. It's a fantastic honour for him, So we're really pleased. Everyone's really pleased. It's a nice story. He's been out on loan, has come through the club, and to get a chance to play the World Cup is great news for him.
The other side of the spectrum, of course, is Reece and Ben.
Yep.
They've probably known themselves for a while that it was going to happen, but with all the hullabaloo surrounding the announcement, is it something you have to put your arm around them and just see that they're all right?
Yes, it's a natural reaction, isn't it? They're disappointed, and Reece thought he would be close. Did everything he could to give himself a chance. In the end, fell a little bit short. Obviously, I can understand the decision and understand Reece's frustration and disappointment. So, just to try to focus on the rehab and get them back as soon as we can.
But they both look to be a bit down to you.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's fair to say. I mean, it's normal, isn't it? It's a World Cup. They don't come around very often, so to miss them is disappointing. But they're strong characters. They'll be fine.
What's the bright side to them, though, having 6 weeks? All the injured players having 6 weeks to recover.
Well, if you're going to look on a positive, it's time to do the rehab as thoroughly as possible without a timescale hanging over them, I guess, and they can focus on that, and then we have them hopefully for the start of our when we restart and they're back fit and strong and well.
Can I just check with Kepa? Obviously, he's been playing again. Could he have gone with Spain if not for his injury, or do you not know?
I have no idea. Obviously, he's not training, so it's not possible now.
What will you do personally and with the team, with the players who are still here over the next 6 weeks? Anything particular planned in terms of friendlies or trips? Yeah,
well, we've got we'll have a few days break because I think there's only about 3 or 4 players left. So we have a bit of a break and then reconvene, bit of training, off to some warm weather camp and a couple of games, prepare for the restart.
Someone else obviously hopefully will ask you about Newcastle, but I've got to change tack, I'm afraid, for a final question. Just to ask you about the World Cup. Who you think will win it and why?
Gary, honestly, I have had no time to think about who the strongest teams are in the World Cup. That's for sure. I'll be rooting for England, obviously, and let's just fingers crossed for them.
Thank you.
Roger, okay. Hi, Graham.
Hi.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Just in terms of that break that's coming up for the World Cup, from your point of view, with the way results have gone in recent weeks and the matches have been thick and fast since you first arrived here, are you really looking forward to just a chance to catch your breath almost?
Well, I wouldn't say really looking forward to it. We have to use it for what it is, and it's an opportunity. We've got a game to finish tomorrow. Whatever happens then, you have to take stock of the time we've had, because like you say, it's 13 matches in 6 weeks, 8 away from home. It's been incredibly intense. We've learned a lot, so we have to take that time to reflect and then come back in a stronger way.
But in terms of result, of course you want to win every game, but the fact that you've got this big break coming up, plus the run of results you've had, just how essential is it that you are on an upward curve going into this break? Well,
that's what we'll be trying to do, of course. I mean, it's everybody will feel better if you can get the 3 points, of course, but we know Newcastle will be fighting for them as well. It's going to be an exciting game, a tough match, but we'll try our best.
In terms of Newcastle, when the takeover happened, people expected them to become a force, and we're already seeing them up in the top 4. Are they ahead of schedule, perhaps getting there quicker than people expected?
Well, I think it's more a reflection of the job they've done. I think Eddie's done a fantastic job. He's improved the players that were there. He's improved the team with some really good recruitment. I think they've spent some money to reinforce the team, and yeah, I mean, I could speak for half an hour about how good I think Eddie is as a person, as a coach. I have huge admiration for him, and he's galvanised the team. There's fantastic support there up at St James's Park, and the club, moving forward.
And you talk about Eddie there, he'll get a lot of praise and people will look at the money that they're able to invest, but we've also got Dan Ashworth, who you know well from your time down at Brighton. What does it tell us about the importance of not just the right players and the right manager, but having the right team and everyone, the right people in the right positions behind the scenes as well?
Well, it's I always say, I said the same at Brighton. It's not one person. It's a football club. You need a good organisation. You need good structure. You need to align all the resources you have. And Dan, I'm sure, will help with that. Like I said, Eddie did a fantastic job. He's done a fantastic job, and Dan is another person that can, and I'm pretty sure will help him.
John Southall, BBC.
Okay.
Hi.
What have you learnt over the last 3-4 weeks? It's been a difficult period. What have you learnt about your players and maybe about yourself over that time?
Well, you learn that it changes fairly quickly. We had a good performance and a good result in Salzburg, and then it all went a little bit wrong at Brighton, and that's part of life. You have to suffer, even though it's something you don't want to do. I think we recovered quite well against Zagreb, and then didn't play so well against Arsenal. I think that's fair. Our performance was not good. I thought we played really well against Manchester City. So it's always a process. You're finding out about what the players can do, what they're comfortable to do, where the strengths are, how you can balance the team. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be loads of things that will enter the head as you reflect, as you need that time, because sometimes you're in the period of just going game for game, and trying to prepare for the team. But in the time we've had, certainly the 6 weeks after the international break, it's been incredibly intense and incredibly challenging.
Especially in the leagues, it's 4 games without a win in the league. I mean, you talk about reflecting, but can you pinpoint what has gone wrong over that period of time?
Not pinpoint to the point where it's a simple solution. I think we played Milan in between Wolves, won 3-0, 3-0, 2-0. Reece got injured. He's quite a key player for us, and lacked a bit of stability then in terms of the right solution for that. Wesley in between that time as well. We'd gone from NG being quite close to being involved, and then all of a sudden a blow there with him, and then just the right balance really. I think we like I said, we performed well against Salzburg. Got a result there that I think they haven't lost at home for 40 matches or something, so you can see it was a good game, good performance from us, but suffered from the first 20 minutes of Brighton, and then the first half looked uncomfortable for us. And that's probably knocked us back a little bit, I would say. Just finding the balance between recovering from the Champions League into the Premier League.
Mentally back as well, do you think the players?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think any result makes it difficult for you. It's more the balance of all the matches and understanding the combination of injuries, injury prevention, load. Rotation is ultimately the enemy of stability. It's the enemy of building a structure. But in this period, it's been necessary. I mean, there's been no other way because of the schedule and how it's been.
And do you think this period is shown that you are going to need to bring in reinforcements in January? You need more bodies in?
Well, not necessarily. I think there's more to come from the team that we have. There's more to come from the group that we have. Like I said, some key players out. If you say Kanté, if you say Chilwell, if you say James, if you say Fofana, they're some key ones, and obviously a couple of them are replacing key ones that left in the summer. So I think the point for me is I think we can do better than we have from a performance perspective. I think the team can function better than we have, and that's where my focus is on.
Just a final one on Newcastle. You've already played them once this season, the second game of the season. Do you think they're even a different proposition now to them?
Yeah, because they've got results, and they've got results deservedly. So that builds confidence, momentum. They were a strong side when we played them. We probably, I would say, if I look back on the game, probably should have won the game. But you could already see that they had a physicality and intensity, good in all phases of the game. Like I said, Eddie's done a fantastic job, really has. I really like what they're doing, I really like how they're playing, and we've got a tough game.
Great, enjoy your break.
Thank you.
Get one.
Simon, Athletic.
Regardless of recent results, Graham, and whatever happens on Saturday, how much do you think you'll benefit from the World Cup break, that you can actually sit there, you've got some time to actually sit there and breathe and think about what you're doing next?
Yeah, well, I'm a human being as well. You know, I've come from Brighton where everything was pretty much organised over a 3-year period of the similar pain that you go through, and pretty quickly you end up here, and you're into the washing machine in terms of the games and the turnaround. So yeah, you have to deal with all that's going on, and then the amount of matches you play, and then you need a bit of time to reflect if there is that time to reflect, and there is, because there's a World Cup break, and it'd be stupid of me not to use that time to do that, to rejuvenate, to recover, to reflect, to improve.
And secondly, just sort of World Cup related, obviously Reece and Ben ruled out because of injury, but Chalobah and Loftus-Cheek, they were in the 55 but were left out of choice. Have you had to talk to them at all? Because of course that for them is more of a significant blow, because it's a selection thing, it's not an injury thing.
Yeah, a brief conversation, but they're both level-headed guys. They both understand. They're very respectful. They understand the decision's not an easy one. They thought they might have a chance, but that's life. They accept it. But as with the other two, the Ben and with Reece, there's still disappointment because they had half an eye on going, and naturally there's going to be disappointment.
Okay, last question in the broadcast. Adam News.
Hi.
Can I just firstly check on the latest team news in terms of is Georgie back and how are the other guys who haven't featured recently?
Georgie trained today, so providing there's no reaction, he should be in the squad. Nothing else to report in terms of no returnees.
And just in terms of the break, will you be sitting down with the ownership as well to discuss how things have gone so far and maybe what's to come ahead in January and beyond?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll. We have regular dialogue, so that's part of an ongoing process. I don't think it's necessarily because of the break, but as I said before, sometimes you need to reflect and you need to think and you need to analyse, and if you have the space to do it, it's better. But absolutely, yeah, we need to think about what's happened, and we need to think about what we need to do to improve.
Okay, cameras off, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.